Every story has an origin. For Dark Souls, it begins with the first game, and a secret it tried to bury. The one that started it all. The one built on a secret. What if everything you thought you knew was a lie? What if I told you, Dark Souls lied to you? Dark Souls doesn't start with a fight. It begins with the story. A story about how the world was created. Once the world was ruled by ancient dragons, covered in stone scales, no weapons could pierce. They were immortal. Nothing changed. Nothing lived, nothing died. Then from the silence came fire, and with it, the first flame. From fire came contrast, light and dark, life and death, and for the first time, the world could change. In the flame, souls appeared, strong enough to turn mortals into gods. 4 beings found these souls, and with them became lords. Gwyn claimed the soul of light and became the lord of sunlight. Nito claimed the soul of death and became the lord of disease and decay. The witch of Izalith claimed the soul of fire and became the mother of chaos. And the smallest soul went to the furtive pygmy, dark and forgotten. With their new powers, the lords became gods. And they waged war against the dragons. Gwyn hurled lightning that split their stone scales. The witch burned the skies with firestorms. Nito unleashed plague and endless death. One dragon was different, Cease the Scaleless. He was born without the stone scales that made the others immortal. He betrayed his own kind and joined the lords to bring them down. The dragons fell. One by one, they were hunted and slain. The age of dragons ended, and the age of fire began. The lords built great cities, monuments of flame and stone. Gwyn ruled from a golden throne, his nights blazing with sunlight. His kingdom stretched so wide it felt eternal. Nito's catacombs ran deep, where oceans of bones whispered his name. Izalith's flame lit a kingdom of fire, a queen crowned in chaos. These were gods made from fire, and to mankind, they looked unstoppable. But fire is not promised. Fire is a moment, and moments fade. The first flame began to dim. Its glow was weaker, its warmth was less certain. Shadows were crept where sunlight once lived. The golden age of gods began to weaken. Fear settled on their thrones. Whispers filled their halls. What comes after fire? What waits in the dark? The answer was something they could not face. So they clung to fire. They built monuments to it. They told stories about it. They prayed to it, worshipped it, begged it to last. But even gods cannot stop an ending. Hold on. Before we finish the story of the gods, we need to talk about something else. The curse of the undead. Because without it, none of this prophecy makes sense. It starts with a mark, the dark sign, burned into the flesh of men. It made them undead. Undead can't truly die. They rise again and again, losing themselves each time, until nothing is left but a hollow shell. Husbands forget their wives, mothers forget their children, kings abandon their crowns, even families turn them away, afraid of the cursed mark. Villages empty, kingdoms crumbled, the undead were feared, hated, locked away. Asylums filled with the cursed, waiting for the end. But the end never came. Death lost its meaning, life lost its shape, and in the middle of disparity, a prophecy spread. A prophecy of hope, a prophecy of destiny, a promise that someone would change everything. It spoke of a chosen undead, a hero cursed but destined for greatness. They would escape their prison, they would journey to Firelink Shrine, and they would seek the Bell of Awakening. One high above in the Church of the Gods, one below through poison and fire behind the Daughter of Chaos. To bring them both was said to be impossible. But if it was done, the one who succeeded would change the fate of the world. The prophecy called them savior, the gods called them chosen, and for a moment, it felt like destiny. A chance to rise and stand among the gods, to claim your place among thrones of fire, to become more than cursed, to become a legend. That is the story you were meant to believe. That is the hope they gave you. That is the glory they promised. What if the story wasn't true? What if the prophecy was never meant to save you? What if I told you, Dark Souls lied to you? The prophecy was not a gift, it was bait. A story to give you hope, to send you forward into the fire. You were never chosen to rule, you were chosen to be used. The gods needed someone desperate enough to suffer in their place, someone who would fight, bleed, and burn, not for freedom, not for glory, but for them, for their thrones, for their fire. You are not a savior, you are sacrifice. You're not chosen to link the flame, you are fuel to keep it alive. That is the truth the gods will never tell you, and the lie changes everything. Why would the gods deceive you? Because the flame is dying? When it dies, so does their age. Without fire, their powers crumble. Without fire, their world ends. But with you, with your strength, your struggle, your suffering, they can keep the fire alive just a little longer. even if it means burning you to ash. The dark sign was the proof. The curse was never random. It was the mark of a world at its end, and the mark of a man aged waiting in the dark. That was what the gods feared most. Not death, not chaos, but you, the dark in your soul. The bells are not salvation. They're the sound of change pulling you deeper into the God's story. But the bells are only one part of the lie. Because even reaching the city of gods in Orlando, the truth is already rotting beneath your feet. Deep below the fire lane, a city sleeps beneath the black water. A city that once thrived until the abyss came. And to stop it, the gods drowned the city. They drowned its people. They drowned the truth. Not one or two, but an entire kingdom sacrificed into silence. Men, women, children, all buried under waves so the fires might burn a little longer. Their ruins remained, their ghosts remained, and the abyss remained. This is the fate the prophecy never spoke of. The truth is, the gods never wanted you to see that they will burn men, flood kingdoms, destroy anything to hold on to their own aid. And if they drown a city once, what else will they sacrifice? What else will they bury? The bells will keep ringing, but beneath their sound is silence. The silence of a city murdered. The silence of the abyss waiting. The drowned city, but the gods tried to erase.